Good evening, everyone. We welcome you to this wonderful session by ICGS on Unplug and Play. As we all know, we are in a digital world where screen time is inevitable for our little ones, but also we know that it is not good for them. It's not good at all. So now we have organized this webinar where we have a team of specialists, psychologists, speech therapists, psychiatrists from ICGS, and they are going to be telling us more about this and tips and tricks to keep our little ones away from the screen time. So, over to you, Manasa. Let's make a beginning. So, please begin.
Hello all. We have our team, Dr. Deepi and Miss Akansha, our behavior therapist and psychiatrist. We will be addressing about the screen time on what could be the possible behavioral and developmental issues and what are the parental tips that will help the child to get rid of the screen time. Firstly, Dr. Deepti will be addressing about this screen time. So over to Dr. Deepti. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mansa. Yeah. So, very good evening to all the parents and all the teachers. So we thought, this is a good place to give you some basic awareness of what's happening with the present generation, especially introduction of
Dr.
gadgets
Deepti, there is
early
an echo
on in
coming.
the
Dr.
school.
Deepti, there is an
Uh,
echo coming. Can you, if you can hear me? I don't know if you have logged in from two devices, or maybe you are sitting. There is a little echo coming. So, if you can see, are you alone?
yeah.
Okay, there is some disturbance and some echo which is there. Just stay one second.
Even now it's there.
Something is, I am able to hear. If anyone else is able to hear, then tell me.
Mansa, is it
No,
my
ma'am.
voice is
Your
echoing?
voice is clear. I can hear.
No, the voice is clear, but there is also a background echo which is coming. That's what I'm saying.
Acha, acha.
Okay, anyways, start.
Yeah. So I was talking about how the present generation is having issues, coping with the newer challenges. That is the introduction of gadgets, the smart gadgets especially, early on, right? We were not given laptops or computers until, after our high school. But these days, even at home or sometimes in some of the schools, the children are being exposed to these gadgets. So we want to tell you a little, bring about some awareness of what is the negative impact. How does it affect biologically? How does it affect our overall health? And how does it affect our emotions, our behavior? And how does it affect our speech, our ability to communicate with another human being? So these four aspects our team members will be covering. And me being a doctor, I would like to cover about how does it affect the child's biological health, right? The physical health. So, Mansa, can I have the next slide?
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, can you see the slide?
No, it is still in the first one.
Now, ma'am.
Can
Yes,
you
we are
just
able to see.
enlarge?
Yes, we
enlarge?
are able to see.
So, all right. As you see in this slide, there are various effects that are happening in our body. So, coming to our posture, that is the muscles and the skeletal system, the spine especially, that also goes for a toss. So, as the child is continuously keeping like this and very close to the eyes, and the neck is always extended, it is moved forward, it is never back. It is always like this because we want to see more clearly what is there in the screen. So our heads are always forward, the neck comes forward, and there is a strain on the place where the back and the neck are joined. So instead of being like this, our necks move like this forward. There is a bend here, and that bend causes severe symptoms sometimes, and which you can have it in the form of headaches, and sometimes the children complain of, I'm feeling dizzy, I feel as though I'm going to fall, unconscious. And there can be severe pain radiating from the neck to the shoulder and the hands. Not only pain, sometimes they feel that they cannot lift their hands properly. They are not having enough strength lifting their hands. And also they feel there is some tingling sensation or some numbness happening. So various kinds of nerve symptoms. So when a nerve is affected, it is literally pinched. It is causing stress on the nerves. They are in between the vertebra. So when the space is small, the nerves are free. But when you bend forward, the space reduces and there is pressure on the nerves. So that is when we get all these symptoms. Coming to the eyes, like I said, to see better, we put our phones. Even we do that. Not only kids, but adults are a little aware, and we keep the distance. But children, because they're not aware of it, they keep it very close to their eyes. So now what happens is the light that is coming from the screen, it will lead to all these symptoms. So the symptoms are there is dryness in the eye. So there is a sensation that something is burning, something is pricking inside, and you feel sometimes there is some burning happening, and most probably they think there is some eye infection and they go to a pediatrician. So the eyes, prolonged usage of very close gadgets will also lead to sight problems. So usually we get sight problems when you're 30s or general population, 30s or 40s or 50s. But when the kids are more using the gadgets and very frequently close to the eyes, the eyesight problems they come early on. They have to use glasses even in the school. And when you keep those gadgets close to your eyes, what happens is the light that is coming from the screen, those are called blue rays. The rays travel from our eye and they go to our brain. So when that happens, there is something called melatonin. The melatonin is a sleep hormone, and that melatonin will reduce in the body. That is why when the kids are using more phones and laptops, they are not able to fall asleep. Melatonin causes sleep, and less melatonin, that means lesser sleep.
Sorry to disturb you, Dr. Deepti, but there is a lot of disturbance coming from back. I don't know if you've logged in from two devices. Then sometimes this happens when there is a lot of echo coming and your voice is not coming clear. I really don't know why. And somebody earlier, I thought it was only me. Now somebody in the comments has also done the same. That there is a lot of echo coming. I don't know why it's coming, but there is a lot of echo coming.
Let me do one thing. I'll
Yeah.
re-log in and let's check.
Yes, yes, yes,
I'll
please.
leave once and then.
Others can unmute and tell me if they also hear some, then please let me know if you can. Parul, I'll make you a co-host. Yeah, Parul.
Yeah, ma'am. I can also hear lots of disturbance.
That's what. There is a lot of, I don't know,
Yeah,
echo or what is it.
even can't hear properly whatever ma'am is saying.
And Divya has also annotated on the screens, and there are lines on the screen by Divya. So if Divya, you can please erase them. Probably you have scratched the screen or you have
Yeah,
done it. So can you
it
see
is
those?
in
There are
green
green
color.
lines which are coming. So please, if Divya can go back and erase them, I'm not able to. I'm trying for a very long time. They started from there. Manasa, if you can reshare, once again, if you can switch off and again start sharing, because we can see those lines and we are not able to see the presentation. I'm sure you'll also be able to see those lines. Green lines.
Is my voice okay now? Is it
Yeah,
better?
it's much better. It's much better. Yes.
All right. So, yeah, so I was telling about how sleep gets affected, right? So the blue rays from the screen will decrease our natural melatonin, and the melatonin will help us to sleep. So when the melatonin decreases, of course, the sleep also goes down, and that is why more and more children are finding it difficult to fall asleep early. Usually a lot of parents come to us saying that our children do not sleep until 11 and 12. Sometimes, we have to force them. So that could be one of the reasons why they are not able to fall asleep, because of reduced melatonin and because of more exposure to the screens. Coming to the immunity, certain studies have shown that when you are exposed to these rays, blue rays, and also through the our eye, and also there is some low frequency electromagnetic radiation emitting from the phone. So these two types of rays, one, because the melatonin goes down, and melatonin is the biggest antioxidant that we have. Antioxidants are nothing but which give us immunity to fight infections. So when melatonin goes down, the antioxidants go down. And not only that, like I spoke about the electromagnetic radiation, that leads to heat radiation. So your body is heating up. And that is why, coming to the next point, when we keep our phones, especially in the pockets, back pockets, front pockets, right? And maybe in the pockets in the shirt. So they are literally heating up the body tissue cells, everything. And that is why our reproductive system is very sensitive to heat. And when the heat is more, there is a reduction in how we produce our eggs and sperms. So this usually comes later in the life, but the reproductive organs are still growing in a child. So the growth will not happen in a healthy way. There are less number of healthy eggs and sperms, which will later lead to infertility or fertility issues in their adulthood. Because the formation of healthy cells is not happening because of the heat radiation. And also, exposure to these blue rays through our eyes, they disrupt the hormones that are being secreted from our brain. Lot of hormones, though we know that body has hormones, but the major controlling hormones are secreted from the brain. So when the controlling hormones are not secreted properly, the other parts, the hormones, do not function very well. So that is why you can have childhood obesity and childhood diabetes happening, and you also have early puberties happening. Even 9 years of girl child are getting puberty. They're having periods onset, and more aggression, more impulsivity in teen boys. So these are the few changes that happen because of early hormone imbalance. And like I spoke about obesity, it's not only because of early onset of diabetes. Obesity also comes because you're more sedentary. When you're watching laptop or TV or gadgets, you're not moving around. And for proper physical growth of a child will happen only when there is stimulus. So when suppose this is the bone of a child, now, only when there is stimulus happening from above, when they're jumping, when they're running, when they're tumbling around, there is stress happening on the bone. And when that stress happens, then the growth will happen more and more. And the more stress happens, there is thicker bones happening around this core bone. So If you want your child to grow more in height, or if you want your child to grow more in their bone weight and also muscle weight, then they should be outdoors, playing around, jumping around, and falling around, and touching all kinds of environment and surfaces. That's when they will have full potential. Otherwise, the more they are sedentary, sitting at home, just not moving around, their potential is not reached. You'll have lesser height, you'll have lesser bone thickness, the muscles are not very well developed, you have fat deposit happening because the calories are not burning. So there is no need to make bone, there is no need to make muscles. So whatever is being accumulated will turn to fat. And that's why you're getting this obesity. Coming to the brain topic, now they have found that when the child is exposed more than 2 hours per day, the gadgets, right? When they are exposed more than 2 hours per day, and they have done a follow up, like after few years of follow up studies, they have seen that the brain, instead of being thick and nice and more volume, they have found that the brain are thin. So there is less number of nerves forming. That's because we are not making the child think on his own. He is only being given whatever is coming to him in the screen. So he is not thinking. And when you do not think, when you do not actively try to solve something, your nerves will not multiply. Just like the bone, right? Only when it is stressed, the bone grows. Only when the brain is engaged, the brain nerves will grow. If not, the brain will think there is no need of me, so let me not grow much. The need is less, so let me just be okay with this. So there is thinner brains, almost like they found that it is equal to that of an old age people's brain, right? That has happened because of the aging. But here in a child, they're finding old age brains. And like I said, the heat radiation, like you can see in the slide, the red and yellow growth spots, right? When a young child is exposed to, like for example, a young child is sleeping and by mistake, the parent has left the phone very close to him. They found that the young child, a 5-year-old child, has thin skull. The bone is not yet formed. So there is more absorption of that heat radiation. And that is why lot of brain is being impacted. And when you come to 10-year-old, the skull is a little more thicker. And that is why the heat radiation has decreased. The area of heat affecting the brain has decreased. And it is very less in an adult. So children are more susceptible, be it anyway, right? They are more susceptible for this radiation and the blue rays. And especially because they are still growing, the growth potential is very much restricted. We are not giving the maximum potential for them to grow in all the ways. So this was about my presentation, and I hand over to Mansa for the next slide. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Is the slide visible now, ma'am?
We are still on the second slide, so if you can move to the
Oh,
third.
yeah. Now?
Now it's fine.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll be talking about how this screen is affecting their behavioral and developmental issues. Firstly, I think all of you must be knowing or heard about dopamine. So it is generally a happy hormone. So when the child is constantly engaging in excessive screen time or keep on watching mobile for a longer period of time, then their dopamine level starts increasing. The child gets very excited. They feel very happy, and they start, and if it is continuing continuously, if it is maintaining the same way, the child automatically gets addicted or they get habituated to these kind of mobile usage, because when they are starting to use these kind of gadgets, they will be receiving, when they are playing, they'll be receiving some kind of coins or winning, or that claps, that sounds that makes them feel very happy. Also that bright colors that coco melon or info bills are using, making the children very attractive towards these. Also rapid shifting of these images, that color sounds, that are the kind of motivation the child is seeking for. So when they are continuously watching these kind of Cocomelon info bells or rhymes in the TV or the mobile, the child is starting to crave for more and more dopamine levels. Is the screen visible, ma'am?
Yeah, Mansa, it's perfectly visible. Please carry on. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. So when this is continuing, the child starting to crave for more and more level of dopamine day by day. So that is the cycle that starts going in a circle. Like the child is expected to see the screen time for a longer period of time. They're expecting that reward, winning, clapping, or sounds, that bright colors through the screen. Again, they are craving for the same expectation. So when they're not even engaging in any activity, also their brain starts craving for that activities, so that they are getting that kind of energy, that kind of dopamine, that kind of happiness, motivation is they are getting through these kind of gadgets. So which is why whenever they are started to watch it for a half an hour or an hour, they starts engaging in very deeply. So after some time, when they're not even watching, their brain starts getting habituated to get more dopamine, which is asking them to or look for again these kind of gadgets. So when the brain is craving, again they start to go and watch these kind of Cocomelon, info bells, rhymes and all. So it is like a circle that makes them like play every single time when they keep watching these kind of rhymes, plays or games in the screen. So, how this excessive screen time is affecting their behavior and the healthy development of a child. So, when they are constantly watching, definitely they want to engage with the everyday activities like jumping, running, or playing, cycling, they feel very bored or they easily get tired of these external play activities, because they have already got habituated of this screen time. So they'll be only craving for this screen time. So they will be very less engaging in these physical activities. Also when the screen is removed, definitely tantrums will be shown. It can be in the form of crying or not listening or not following the parents comments when they are saying something, and asking to get something then and there when the screen is removed. So these kind of temper tantrums will be seen when it is removed. Also when they are going to school, definitely their focus or attention concentration level will be very low. They will not be focusing on the single task. Also it is very difficult for them to complete the homework. Also they will be losing that interest slowly when they are going to school because of the screen time. So these can be the possible behavioral issues that the child slowly starts developing when they are continuously engaging with the screen time. So apart from this, what can be the symptoms or red flags before developing any disorder? What kind of issues that the child can be facing? So I'll be focusing about the symptoms before going to develop any disorder. The child will be showing these kind of symptoms or red flags. See, due to excessive screen time, limited eye contact will be starting, like they will not be maintaining complete eye contact with the other people. Also because of that excessive screen time, they won't be showing any
Answer,
interest in.
sorry to disturb you, but we are not able to see the slide of symptoms and red flags.
Now ma'am.
Now we can see.
Okay. So, because of that limited exposure, as the child is getting very much exposed to only screen time, they won't be engaging with other children to talk, to communicate. So, simultaneously, the speech is also getting reduced. They will not be speaking less like the other children, how they fluently speak at that age. Also, social reciprocity also will get slow. Also, along with this, when they are going out with the other children, also they lose interest in playing with the other children, because they have got habituated to play at home with the mobile, not engaging with the other children. That also makes them reduce their play skills also. Also, the tantrums which I have already told, that starts increasing more and more. If it is increasing, definitely it will be very hard for us to make to change them in the way that we want to. Again, so academic performance will be very low, attention and concentration will be very low, because they'll be mostly engaging in the single task, sitting at one place and just focusing on that rapid shifting of images, playing songs and all. So they will not be focusing more on the academic performance. They get bored also very easily when they go for cycling or playing with the other children or with the siblings. Also, they feel very bored and tired. They again start craving for the mobile screen watching. So when these are all starting, definitely they will slowly start showing that restlessness, agitation, some kind of frustration, tantrums will be coming out in the form of these. Before developing any kind of disorder, these red flags will start signing up. So these can be the red flags and the behavioral issues when the child is constantly or for a longer period of time engaging in the screen time. Now, how the parents can help these children to come out of these issues before developing a disorder, how they can address these issues. Miss Akanksha, our behavior therapist, will be talking about parent friendly tips so that they can start implementing these tips at home to understand the child or to get rid of these mobiles and somehow managing the child in a better way. So over to Miss Akanksha.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Mansa.
Yeah.
Okay, Mansa, can we move on to the next slide?
Now,
Not yet. Yeah, now it's fine. Okay, so before we start, I would like to start with an example. So the other day, we got a consultation for a child who was around the age of 8 to 9 year old. The parents had come with a list of behavior issues: no eye contact, no attention concentration, issues with the letters. He could not write K properly. He could not read J properly, something like that. After having 15 to 20 minutes of consultation with the parent, when I met the child, I spoke to him and he told me only one thing. It was that he is unable to see the board. I asked the parents to immediately take him up for eye checkup. Turned out he had very severe eye issues. So you see how the connection of the symptoms can be shown behavioral. Okay, so now I would move on to the parent friendly tips. So the first thing is to replace the screen time with something attractive. As Dr. Deepti and Mansa have spoken before, the dopamine levels, right? Since a continuous interaction with the screen, now the child starts utilizing screen as the dopamine releasing object for him. So it is very much better for us to replace these things with more colorful activities like coloring, drawing, sketching, maybe letting them to go outside and play outdoors. Okay. The next thing is to schedule the screen time instead of allowing it anytime. Okay, so this is the most common mistake that parents do. They usually tend to give off the screen to the child whenever they are in a meeting, or maybe whenever they have their working hours, or maybe once the child is done with the tuition as a reward or something. Now, as we see that there is no pattern over here that the child is following. It's not just for the screen time, but in general, the child is supposed to follow a timetable. Now, don't you think this can cause issue? Right. So the next one is to create a calming bedtime routine. Same, relating it again to the dopamine thing. When the body is so much used to all the violence or the music or the pictures in movement for the eyes, the brain usually does not allow for the child to sleep. That's the reason why nowadays we see that the child is waking up till 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12. I have even heard parents say that a 5-year-old child cannot fall asleep till 2 o'clock at night. Now, the main reason for this happening is the screen. So it is better for us to give them some calming space where the music is calming, soothing, make them do some kind of activities like writing a diary, drawing a picture. Okay. Next is to avoid the screens 1 hour before bed. This is a very common suggestion that the doctors even tell to their patients, especially the patients with anxiety issues. They ask them to avoid screen time at least 1 hour before bed. The same thing goes for the children as well. Second, praise improvement, not perfection. Now, again, this is a very common mistake that many of us do. Whenever a child is done doing some kind of activity, we tell them, very good, you have done it very perfectly. Now, this thing is not just for the screen time, but for any behavior improvement that we want the child to see, right? So we should praise the improvement that the child is showing. Like, you chose not to do this, rather than that you have chosen to do something more productive. Now the child will see that you are acknowledging the child for the improvement that they're showing. Next is children copy adults. Okay. Parents use screen. Children don't know what to do at that time. The parents are modeling a wrong behavior. Hence, whatever the parent does will directly influence the child, even if the parent is not aware. Okay. So from here, I will ask our speech therapist, Mr. Kalyan, to take over. Kalyan, are you there? Kalyan, are you there?
Mr. Kalyan, if you can switch on your video, we can make you the co-host also, or else we have already made you the co-host. Yeah, thank you. I'll spotlight you.
Yeah,
He
good afternoon, one and all. So today I'll talk about the
is
how screen.
texting. Kalyan, you
Hello,
Yeah, please
ma'am,
continue,
am I
Mr.
audible?
Kalyan. Yeah, please continue.
Yeah, ma'am. So I'm explaining about how screen time is affecting on speech and language on children. So usually in children's with watching of screen time, usually the critical age we can call. So at this time only the children will develop language easily. So by using like excessive of screen time, so they will get delayed of speech and language development and the articulation issues also. So like when we give screen time when they are using, even we are give screen time like to use mobile in night times and while they are having dinner lunch also. So that will make them too difficult to pronounce word because they don't know how to pronounce. So as the guide, like parents are the main first guides, so they have to uh, show them how to pronounce. Like example, amma or tata. So in speech we say this both words like palatal sounds and bilabial sounds. So in this one, so we have to show picture and the words we speak amma. So if we are not giving them prompt, so by seeing the excessive of mobile or any TV, so they will get difficulty on learning of this amma and tata every word, and less interaction with parents and peer means viewer opportunity to learn new words. As I say now, so when they are using the screen time, so they will not learn in this age. Actually we used to give like if they are crying without, if we are not giving mobile they will cry, so we will give mobile so to eat. So at the time only, so can't teach. And as of now this generation, so we are so busy actually. So in this time, so we give while having food. So in this time, so children will not able to learn the total words. So usually in speech we used to tell phonological development. So in that phonological development, every child, typically developing child, we used to say at which age which sound will be developed. So by using of the screen time, excessive of or using the screen, so their language and this the word which will achieve in their age, this will be get delayed. And children may speak later, use fewer words, or struggle fewer sentences. So when we giving them like everyday mobile, so they will only learn what they are saying, but they cannot understand emotions and complex words. And the tone of voice also they cannot learn. So, Mansaram, can you please go to next slide? Hello? And also we seen here the speaking problems and less real word speech practices, difficult in pronouncing word clearly. So day by day, like when they're using and they will not exposed to outside because of screen time, children will not exposed to play outside mostly because they will get habituated daily this online game like YouTube and watching of cartoons this one. So they will not learn like this all complex words and also delay in vocabulary development. Vocabulary development means the language development. So usually, by the coming of 1 year, child used to pronounce one word amma or tata. So this will get the delay by using of screen time. Like if 1 year they have to achieve like amma or tata, it will go delayed by 2 years or 3 years. So this is a facing of problems while using screen time children. So here is my total explanation of screen effects on using of screen effects on you and its effect on speech.
Yeah. Thank you, Kalyan. I think Manasa, uh, hmm, okay, we are done with the
Yes,
presentation,
ma'am.
right? One, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Manasa, and yeah, thank you so much to the INLAS Child Guidance Clinic for this insightful seminar on screen time and its negative uses and what are the tips. I would also now like to ask parents if they could they would, ask any questions. Could raise your virtual hand up to ask a question, or you know, you could open your screen. The videos are off for most of you. Then we'll get to know that if you have a question, or you can type it in the chat box. For us it has been a learning experience because it's very very important, the dopamine connection, and then very crucial for young children, because this is one common complaint as a person running a preschool which I hear from parents is one, the children don't come to school on time, and when we ask the parents they say they don't get up, and when we ask them that why are they not, ma'am, they're not sleeping till 2 1 in the night, and this is a very common phenomena these days. So the effect of watching phones or screen in the night and then not falling asleep, that connection is very clear. So it's very important.
Ma'am,
And another thing,
your comment is actually true, ma'am. See, what happens is we as human beings, we work according to the sun cycle.
yes,
Our hormones, our body parts are actually, we have, evoluted from monkey stage to this human being stage. And when evolution was happening, we were very much in tune with the whole sun setting and sunrise. So the problem came when, probably from last 2, 3 decades, when there is this nightlife happening, partying, or some of the parents think I get some me time only when, household has settled down. So, like, our therapist said, they model us. So when we do not switch off the lights, we still on the white lights in the house, and that white light is very much similar to sunlight. So our brain is detecting that sun has not set yet. If that is the case with just room light, white light in the room, imagine when the screen is so close to your eyes, it is like many suns, glowing into our eyes. And the brain is like, okay, the sun is not set, so we'll still be active. And then that melatonin production will not happen. So, if one strategy that we can practically use is do not use these white bright lights. Prefer to use those warm yellow lights which have less, brightness, less intensity.
like what table lamps used to be there earlier. People would
Exactly.
have a night lamp. So
Exactly.
the practice of having a night lamp has gone away because there are phones with lights. So nobody
Yes.
feels the need to have those, no? So that was the time when people used to read. I remember
Yes.
my dad used to read before going to bed, so he would have a night lamp and he would just
And
switch
that
it
is a
on.
good way, ma'am. See, if you want to study, read, one night lamp on the table is good enough. Why do you want to have the whole room as lighted up?
Very, very true. So that has been very, very insightful, as I said, for a lot of us. That it's important that, and we form a schedule for the child. That has come across
Mm.
that we also, when we have PTMs in school, we discuss this.
Yes, ma'am.
That
Yes.
most children, once they go home, they don't have a schedule. They are allowed to
Yes.
do what they want to do, and they're given
Yes.
that freedom, which I think is very important because in school things are in place because we have a schedule.
Yes.
We have a
Yes.
timetable. So at home also it's very, very important that we should have a timetable. And if you want to give a screen to your child, if you really want to, then you see how much time you're giving and
Have it.
what are
Yeah.
you.
Ideally, a child should not have it after 7 p.m.
Yes, very true.
If still, relatively, if we have to talk, watching TV from afar, right? TV is at least at a distance, so it is not as harmful as the mobile. So if the child is asking for some screen time, TV is still okay.
Yes. And that is something which I keep telling parents again and again that having a
Yeah,
TV is much better than having a phone in the
yeah,
hand.
yeah.
So that's very, very crucial. So yeah, it has been. I don't see any questions popping up. If anybody has any question, please ask. Otherwise, we'll end the session because we had the session for an hour. You can also share your feedback to us on the school number, or you can put it in the chat box because it really helps. The team has worked very hard. They've made a presentation and they got so many speakers. So also to let everybody know, their clinic is at Telecom Nagar in Gachibowli. So if you would want to connect with any one of them, the whole team is there. They're experienced and they can guide you on different issues. We'll share their poster as well, the clinic details also with everybody on WhatsApp so that you can see. So
Yes,
any
ma'am. And the
other
best
questions?
part about Child Guidance Center, ma'am, that we have here, a lot of people think now if I take my child to a mental health professional, they will write some medicine, it will be very harmful for my child. But that's not true, right? Actually, the best part about child is they're very flexible and they are growing. So when they're in the growth phase, when we change the lifestyle, they really catch up on that growth potential. So what we focus here is just the psychological strategies that we give to the parents. We tell them how to manage the children and how to, we also talk to the child if he's like 4 years and above, try to tell them, you have to follow this. So we give them the alternates, so that we in fact tell the parents also the whole household must change. You cannot expect a child to sleep by 9 o'clock if the house is all, with lights and noise and you're all shouting at each other. The child will not sleep. So,
Yes, so it
we
means
also
changing the whole
guide
house.
the
Everybody in the house needs
uh,
to
parents, the
needs to
adults. Yes, yes.
sure. So I'll stop the recording now.
Even if the parents